Hey, everybody. What's going on? What's going on? It is your girl, Jamaica Thomas. I'm here for another Sunday night setup where we are prepping our week for love and light through leadership. I am the founder of JT Educates, and we are here because we need to infuse some love and light in our daily activities, especially us as leaders. And so we have a good one today. We are talking about leading with joy. Leading with joy. And so it is leading with joy, energizing your leadership and inspiring others. Leading with joy. I'm trying to get this how together, y'all. Oh, Lord. Okay. Leading with joy. This is real. Leading with joy, energizing your leadership and inspiring others. And so when we think about leadership and joy, some of us might think that joy is just a feeling, right? I feel happy, I feel sad, I feel joyful. But joy can be a leadership strategy, and it should be a leadership strategy for you. Remember, when we're talking about leadership, we're not just talking about people with these high titles, right? Or we're not just talking about leaders who own businesses or multiple businesses or LLCs. We're talking about people who have the capacity to lead in their everyday life, in their homes, on their jobs, on their shifts, in the classroom. If you're a teacher, a principal, a superintendent, if you're in a C suite, or if you are the shift leader at Starbucks, right? Everybody has this capacity to lead, and my job and my vision for our company is to make sure, especially with this Sunday night setup, is that we make sure that we are infusing love and light as we lead throughout the week, right? And so again, our topic for this week is leading with joy. We got to lead with joy this week. It's been a little rough around here, around these United States lately. And last week we talked about inclusive and diverse leaders and leading with inclusivity and diversity. And so this week I said, you know what? We need to know how to lead with some joy. And so that's what we're going to be looking at today. So, joy can be a leadership strategy. I want you to think about what's one thing that brings you joy in your work. Now, this can be your actual work. It can be maybe not what you're doing right now. Maybe some of us are in jobs that we really don't enjoy, but we like the people, or we like the short commute, or we like the convenience of it, or we like the money, or what is something that brings you joy in your work? So I want you to think about that. And then we're going to look at why joy matters. Why does joy matter? Joy matters because leaders who lead with joy create positive, motivated, and engaged teams. So if you are a leader that leads in joy, you are infusing this joy into your people. So if you lead with joy, you have more engaged team members or more engaged family members. If you are leading with joy in your family, you have more engaged family members. If you are leading with joy in your family, you create this positive environment. Or if you lead in joy with joy on your job, you create this positive environment. If you lead in joy, you create motivated people because it's just something about somebody who leads in joy. Now, this is the thing that we have to think about. Joy, again, is not a feeling. Joy actually is a commitment to prolong contentment. I'll break that down again. Joy is actually a commitment to prolong contentment, meaning that you are committed to where you are and gaining contentment, right? Gaining a satisfaction with where you are over time. things will happen, and we're going to talk about some resiliency, but things will happen where you're going to challenge it. You're not going to feel like feeling it today. You're not going to feel like this is what I really want to do. You're going to second guess if this is the job I want, if I really want to be a leader, if I really like these people, like, do I really want to drive 30 minutes to work? Like, there are things that are going to make you second guess and maybe not make you feel comfortable in the work that you're doing. But when you have joy, as somebody would tell me, the world can't give it and the world can't take it away, right? So when you have joy, it's this commitment to, you know what, I'm going to stick it out. And if I don't like this thing that's happening, I'm going to find some joy in. Going to find the light in it, right? And we're going to talk about that. Um, Joy fuels resilience, creativity, and strong relationships. When you have joy in your leadership, you are building on relationships. You are building in the capacity or building people's capacity to be resilient. When you infuse joy into your leadership, you are actually giving people a way to be creative because you are helping people to see and push through some of the hard decisions and be able to be innovative, right? The other thing that joy does, joy reduces burnout and promotes emotional well being. So when we're thinking about joy, a lot of times joy, we have to find joy or we have to find our commitment to contentment, right? We have to find this joy. And when we do, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to do that because we might be in a very sticky situation in our company. It might be layoffs, it might be reduction in staff. There could be a lot of things happening. Your company might be in the red and you don't know how you're going to bounce back. There might be a competitor that you feel like is carving into your productivity or into something that you're doing. But when you have joy and you lead in joy, you are able to reduce again burnout and you are able to promote emotional well being. So, how do we create or how do we lead in this joy? First step, you have to find your own joy. These are practical tips. First, you have to find your own joy. What makes you joyful? Where can you find the light? Is it through celebrations, small wins, practicing gratitude? When we are in those lulls of life and we are in that kind of valley of life, what brings us joy or what can help us with joy is thinking about what we're grateful for, thinking about gratitude. I was in one session with a person and they had us to create a gratitude journal, right? We had to list the things that we were grateful for at our job, in our home, even with our finances. And it forced us to be grateful or forced us to look for to practice gratitude, right? So, first of all, as a leader, you can't say, okay, we're going to be joyful and you don't have your own joy. You have to figure out what makes you joyful. What is your commitment to this contentment and this long game that you have for your life, right? Because things are tough. Things will get tougher. Things are tough right now. And you have to find what the joy is in your life, right? It might not be the thing that you have always thought was the mountaintop. You might really be in a valley right now. But if you look for the things that you can be grateful for, if you celebrate those small wins, if you are able to just celebrate, if it's not you, somebody else, that can help you in climbing out of that valley and going into again that prolonged commitment to contentment. Okay. All right. Another way, or the second step to how to cultivate joy, is to create a joyful team culture. So when you think about this team that you have, you found your own joy, and now you want to create this joyful team culture. You can encourage a positive work environment and allow space for fun. It makes me think about when I was a leader of a department. Sometimes we would have our department meeting at a restaurant. We would have an agenda. We would talk about business, but we would be at Cracker Barrel eating some good old Granny Sampler, right? So you can infuse this joy with your team by allowing some space for fun. Also, a way that you can infuse joy in your team with celebrating people is by awarding people for their good work, right? And so it makes me think about sometimes when I would leave, I might not be able to give somebody more money, but I can give them time, right? So I can say, you know what, we worked really hard today. We got a lot accomplished. Instead of us leaving at this time, if you want to step out a little bit earlier because we really didn't work through lunch, or we worked through lunch and we really didn't get a chance to take a break. We've been pushing it and pushing it. I'm going to allow you to leave a little bit early today, right? And so those are ways that you can infuse joy where people feel like they are appreciated, right? And you can create this joyful team culture. The last way is to shift perspectives during challenges. And we kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. We have to find light in difficulty. Find light in difficulty. We have to reframe setbacks, and we have to stay connected to our purpose. When we are going through the hardest parts of our day, the hardest parts of our week, the hardest parts of our job, maybe it's a lot going on your job that you can't really control the outcome of it, and you're really just trying to survive and really trying to think about the good things, and you have to find your joy. You have to find, how can I reframe this setback? What is this telling me? What does this setback tell me about me? What am I learning in this difficult time? And as you are processing that this is not just a bad thing or a hard time, but I can learn something while I'm going through this, it's going to help you do that upswing of feeding and creating joy and changing perspectives. Okay. It's that, again, that commitment to a prolonged contentment. Commitment to a prolonged contentment. That joy is not something that is really regulated on our feelings. Joy is that contentment that I'm going to stick it through. I'm going to find the light, like what we're talking about, leading through love and light. I'm going to find the light in this difficult time. I'm going to stay connected to my purpose. I don't like what's happening right now, right? I might say, I don't like what how my family is moving around right now. I don't like what my finances look like right now. I don't like how my friendships are right now. I don't like what's going on at my job, but I'm going to stay committed to my purpose. I'm going to stay committed to the vision I have for my life. I'm going to stay committed to what I know I'm supposed to be doing in this space. Or I'm going to stay committed to knowing me and maybe some things that I need to change, right? So that whole commitment to understanding who you are, what you're supposed to be doing, and also thinking about your purpose will help you to shift perspectives in your culture on your team or in your family or for yourself on your finances, or if you're thinking about what's going on in our everyday lives as Americans right now. We got to find some joy, right? We have to find some joy. So what is our call to action for this week? Our call to action is to take one small step this week to lead with joy, whether it's recognizing a team member, celebrating a win, or choosing to find the light in the moment. What will be that one thing that you will do this week to find joy and lead in joy? Okay, think about it. If you want to comment below, I would love to hear what you got. I would love to hear what you did this week. And I want you to like, comment, and subscribe. I am here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram and LinkedIn. And I am really enjoying this time together each week. And we have a different topic every week. So share this with somebody. I would love to get your input. So this is our time. We are this week again was leading with joy, energizing your leadership and inspiring others. I want you to be love, be light, and live boldly this week. Be love, be light, and live boldly this week. Thank you. You all have a good night.